from your ETR or yearly Z reports. So now KRA will also no longer need to ask you for reports or even come to physically inspect your machine. They'll all be having all the data in terms of the system in a real-time basis. It will also act as a module for tax invoice data. It will also verify the validity of a tax invoice by the officers, traders, and general public through the invoice QR code or tax invoice checker on the iTax portal. We'll look more in the next slides on how you can verify, first of all, if your machine is in compliance with TIMS, and also to check if invoices given to you are in compliance with VAT. So the main objectives of the TIMS rollout, number one is the real-time validation of invoices in the trader tills prior to issuance to customer and transmission to KRA. Improving accuracy in automated VAT data management to address invoice discrepancies. This is what I was discussing regarding the inconsistency notices which we are getting on email. With now the TIMS VA will no longer be an issue for VAT taxpayers. It will also minimize VAT fraud through verification of invoice data. A lot of times you'd find you're given a VAT invoice, but now when you go to claim, it brings an issue in either an inconsistency or even the PIN was not registered for VAT. So with this, VAT fraud will greatly be minimized. It is also to standardize tax invoices and receipts. All of them will, the ETRs will come up in a standard format which will match across all taxpayers, and also to simplify return filing. So there'll be a pre-filled return form on the TIMS software. So now there will no longer be the need of having this monthly VAT returns to be in compliance with the 20th you need to file. So there'll be already, we still need to file, but they'll generate a pre-filled VAT return form which you'll be able to file. So benefits of the TIMS application to the VAT taxpayers. Number one is foster fair business environment. So currently there are chances where there is not a fair business environment for all taxpayers. So with now TIMS, all of them will be on a fair scale, and so it will make also business a lot more easier. Number two is to simplify the VAT return filing. There will be a pre-filled return form which will be generated. It is also for faster processing of VAT refunds. Currently, as we are all aware, VAT refunds to get from KRA, it's a very lengthy process and also very tiresome process. So because of the verification of the data and all that, but now with this TIMS rollout, the VAT refunds will be processed much faster. So that one will benefit taxpayers. It is also the last benefit is automated activation of the tax register. So initially the rollout was the deadline was 1st of August 2021. However, the public notice was issued on 13th of July 2021, which gave an additional 12 months to comply up till 1st of August 2022. However, 31st July would be the last date as per the VAT return. So the deadline, just to stress more a bit on the deadline is 31st of July. So kindly ensure that you have, if you have a TIMS compliant machine, we'll have a question and answer session whereby you can send the model numbers of your ETR machine to check if they are TIMS compliant. If they're TIMS compliant, they need a software upgrade and they can still be used. However, if they're not compliant, you'll have to purchase new machines. So basically, just how the TIMS system will work is the trader systems will have the capability of transmission, validation, and signing capability. There is a control unit which is available with this capability, where it's connected to the trader systems, and it will automatically sign on each invoice. The control unit can either be done on one computer, or even multiple devices can be connected to one single unit, and all of them are done a signature through that control unit. We'll just look at more the machines which are available in the next slides. So all this is now transmitted on a real-time basis on the TIMS application, which is linked to iTax. So what is a TIMS compliant ETR? A TIMS compliant ETR is one validation. It can validate an invoice at the point of issuing an invoice. Number two, it generates a unique QR code on the invoice. And number three, it transmits the data to KRA on a real-time basis. For the participants maybe who have already purchased the new machine, you must have realized it's connected to Wi-Fi before you start using the machine. So just to show how connected the machine is to KRA. So all newly registered taxpayers need to make sure they just buy a TIMS compliant ETR machine. However, most probably if you're buying from a registered ETR supplier, they'll be TIMS compliant, because the deadline was on 15th of January, which the old machines had been declared to have stopped selling. So the different types of ETRs which will be available currently in the market, we have three control ESD. We have the ETR machine, the normal ETR machine which we're all used to of, the one which is mobile, you can carry around. That is number one, which is available. That one is suitable for small businesses who normally they do manual invoices. They have handwritten invoices, so that one will be ideal for them. We have ESDs. ESD is directly connected to your ERP and issues an ETR signature or upon printing of that invoice. There's no restriction on which ETR is to be used by any business. So it is on the discretion of the management on what would be the easiest option for them. For clients with ERPs and software billing systems, and ESD would be working the best. So this is just a sample of what the actual tax ETR will look like. Point number one to note is it shows the buyer's PIN. So when now punching the sale for the supplier, you will also be entering the buyer's PIN, which will be printed on the invoice. This will automatically also to transmit that same data to KRA, that this will be a purchase on the customer side. So one thing to ensure is when you're buying with after the TIMS software, one thing you need to ensure for all VAT registered taxpayers is kindly ensure that your PIN is printed on the ETR. It will also show a control unit serial number. This is the unique serial number to your machine. It will also generate a control unit invoice number. That one will also be unique to that customer. The numbers will not be similar to other machines and other invoices as well as it will generate a unique QR code. Each invoice will generate a unique QR code, which will show all the details, which we'll look at it in the other slides. So just to brief more on the machine to check the authenticity, on the iTax homepage, they've introduced two tabs. Tab 1 on column 1, control unit checker. This is the page which has been projected is the iTax homepage. So control unit checker. The control unit checker, you can, when you buy a machine, when you purchase a TIMS compliant machine, kindly it is always good you just go to control unit checker and you put the control unit number just to verify the authenticity. It will show you the manufacturer, the supplier and retailer of the tax register, the PIN and name of the seller. It will also show the date of activation of the TIMS compliant machine and also the status. Is it compliant or non-compliant? So always, periodically, it will always be good to check your control unit if it is compliant or non-compliant. Point number 2 to note is invoice number checker. This has also been introduced on the iTax website. Invoice number checker, when you want to check the authenticity of that invoice, you can input the invoice number, the control in unit invoice number, not the invoice number printed on the document, but the control unit invoice number on the ETR. When you put that number here to have a search, it will show you the name of the seller, who you purchased from, the invoice date, the invoice amount, and the total taxable amount. So this one will reduce the it will almost put it to a negligible level, the level of fraud of fake VAT invoices in the market. So some key points to note: all VAT registered taxpayers are required to be TIMS compliant. TIMS covers domestic VAT, import VAT, and exported supplies, zero rated, will be accounted through the integration between iTax and ICMS, which is currently ongoing. ICMS is the Integrated Customs Management Service. So that will also be integrated to have a 360 degrees approach to VAT administration, because that on the customs, with importers, you're aware, on a custom entry, there's also VAT which is being charged. So that will also be now integrated with TIMS. So this one is the law was 12 months passed on the 1st of August 2021. As of now, we have including May, we have 3 months to be in compliance with the new TIMS compliant machines. So our advice is kindly to do it, not waiting for the last moment rush, because we also have cases of them going out of stock, the machines. So always better to be a bit early. The full realization of the TIMS will now come when all of the taxpayers have adopted the TIMS machine, because it will now have made a VAT compliance very easy, because the whole return which was being done at the end of the month will be done pre-filled. The purchases will be automatically done when you buy, because they've already declared your PIN, whereas your sales also computed when you purchase the machine. So it will be also very easy. As well as one thing to note is also credit notes can now be put on this machine. You need to make sure, even if you do a credit note in the past, you could not reverse it, you could not reverse a credit note on the machine, but now you can punch also a credit note on the ETR machine. Some additional points to notice: where a taxpayer replaces the existing tax registers, they are required to safeguard the previously used register in line to keep records for 5 years, as stipulated in Section 23 of the Tax Procedures Act 2015. So, kindly keep it, the old machines, kindly keep them very safe in case of KRA inquiries or any audits which are done, because if you discard the machine, it can bring you more problems with KRA. Point number 2 is VAT taxpayers are reminded to continue filing their VAT returns as stipulated in Section 44 of the Value Added Tax Act. So unless KRA passes additional information on the TIMS rollout, we'll still need to be continue filing our returns on the iTax website, as we continually do it till now. That is the end of our webinar. Just to give more what Adamjee auditors, what we do is basically we're registered, we're chartered and certified public accountants. We provide audit and assurance services. And audit and assurance services, we cover statutory audits, internal audits, forensic audits. We also provide advisory services. We provide tax services, tax advisory, tax filing of returns. We also provide corporate legal services, e.g. advising on what would be the best way to start your business, also registration of your business in the most tax-friendly way. We also do business process outsourcing. Our specialism is tax audits and investigations. We do fraud investigations, electronic fixed asset register and inventory management, financial and tax due diligence, and healthcare financial systems. Why us? We're licensed. As I mentioned, we're licensed by ISPAC and also ACCA to provide audit and tax services. We have experience of over 5 years, as well as working for top international accounting firms. We're competent. Our staff, we ensure that we always hire CPAs. We're independent. We strive to be always on the client's budget and provide value for money. as well as international affiliation. We're affiliated with Santa Fe Associates International, which is the 17th largest global network and 8th largest in Africa. So I'd like you to thank all of the participants for taking your time to attend this webinar. The room is open for any questions which are there.
Thank you, Mohsin, for that very good presentation. And thank you again, our participants. As we mentioned, this is an initiative of the BNI Eagles, where we come together to build each other and to build each other's businesses. So we have some questions on the chat, which I think I can read out for you, Mohsin. So the first one is from Samuel. Will the first returns under the TIMS system be for the July or August returns?
It will be for the August return, hopefully, if KRA have rolled out the system.
Thank you. Then we have a question from Marion Obura, and the question is on price. What is the price range for the new ETR machines?
Currently, the price for a starter, the mobile ETR machines is starting from 50,000 shillings. So that is inclusive of VAT. That is the rate. And but however, you can always check if your machine is TIMS compliant. They can be going through a software upgrade, and it would cost you half of that amount.
And you said that we can check these compliance through the iTax platform?
Okay, for the compliance, once you have upgraded to your TIMS, that's when you can check for the compliance.
Thank you. So there's a question here from Jalpesh. Can you discuss more about how to get the existing ETR machines get TIMS compliance?
Okay, so they've been approved. They approved IT firms which have been approved by KRA to handle this process. We can help you link up with them and get your machines TIMS compliant.
Thank you. We have a question from James. Does the TIMS ETR allow for a sale to unregistered clients since it generates the buyer's PIN?
Yes, you can sell to unregistered buyer customers as well. Just one thing is, from the customer side, if he goes to claim, he'll have an issue. So I think the first thing always to ensure that is he going to claim that ETR. If he's registered, to put his PIN will be like a requisite, compulsory requisite. Yes.
Thank you, Mohsin. We have a question from Beatrice. How do we obtain the ETR?
So they also Adamjee auditors can also assist you with getting the machines. They are also VAT registered, approved suppliers by KRA to provide you with the machines. Yes, sorry, Jeremy, I think we lost you.
Apologies. I think my internet fluctuated, and let me see whether it's, yeah, I still have the chat. So we were at Beatrice. How do we obtain the ETR?
Yes, so as I mentioned on that, we can also we can have a talk after the end of the meeting. We can advise on which would be the best machine, and we can also arrange for you to get one. I think Jeremy, is it okay, your internet?
Yeah, I see myself here. Apologies for that.
Yeah, no problem. I've answered Beatrice's question.
Okay. And there's a question from Marion. Kindly repeat how we can confirm whether the current ETR machines is TIMS compliant.
Okay, you see the current ETR machines, unless you have already done the TIMS upgrade, you cannot check. But however, once you get the TIMS upgrade, you can go to iTax website. On the home page, there's a control unit checker. On the control unit checker, you can put there's a number on the back of the machine. There's a number which is normally printed on the machine. If you put that control unit number on the website, it will give you all the status of the machine. But however, if you put the old machines which have not yet been, you're not yet been compliant with TIMS, it will give you a negative result.
Thank you. I think there's a question from Sumit, which month it will be applicable? And we said
August.
From the month of August, yeah. So I think that seems, there's a question from Dennis. What happens to those clients who do one invoice per month?
That's fine. For the Act has stipulated all VAT registered taxpayers. So if you're a VAT registered taxpayer, you need to get the new TIMS machines, or else maybe you can, if you don't need VAT, you can get deregistration from VAT. You can apply for deregistration. But however, if you stay VAT registered, you need the new machine, even if it's one invoice per month, even if it's one invoice per year.
All right, I think that seems to be the end of our questions, unless there's someone who's raised their hand and I can't see anyone. So at this point, I would like to thank each and everyone for attending. We can be able to have I think I have put on the chat Adamjee's contact, that is Adamjee at Adamjee Auditors. And also you can be able to reach out to us at hello@bnieagles.co.ke. So thank you for making time this morning. This is Christopher asking about the offices.
Yes.
Adamjee, go on.
I'm just responding on that, Mr. President.
Sorry?
I'm just responding on that on the chat.
All right. Yeah. So that is Bundu Complex, second floor. That is off Langata Road. So thank you everyone for making time, and we hope to continue interacting with you in future in these value adding webinars. Thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you all. Thank you all for attending. Bye.